Hello and welcome to episode 51 of AFC Filed Still We Rise. This is Football Manager 2020 and the date is the 25th of May 2021. No, I don't know how coronavirus went. I don't know if we're back to normal in the real world, but here in Still We Rise, things have been going very well for us. As a matter of fact, we are planning to go into League One next season. There's been a lot of things for me to update you on that have happened since the last episode, which didn't actually seem that long ago. The first thing is that I have eventually signed a brand new contract. I am now earning £2,300 per week, and I've signed a new 2-year deal that'll take us to 2023, by which point all of my staff will have been replaced, apart from David Platt. He's staying and he's never leaving. In addition, we have plenty of statistics for you. We've got to go all the way back to the 12th of May in the inbox because there's been plenty going on. All the way down. Here we are. We've got players inducted into the overall FYLDE Best 11, one of which was my signing Jan Songo from the start of the year. Scott Duxbury has made it in at left back, and Chris Porter has taken up a position on the bench. Not quite sure why, but he's there anyway. We had the end of season awards. One, of course, the Fans Player of the Year, Tom Walker, 78% of the vote. Goal of the season also went to Tom. Signing of the season, that's 79,000 spent on Jan Songo from Scunthorpe. And the young player of the season, not really a young player, is Luke Burke. You can see our team of the season on the right. Interesting to see both Williams and Muldoon in there. I probably wouldn't have picked them, but that's mostly because Williams is rotting in the reserves as we currently speak, and Muldoon hasn't been brilliant, but he's been okay. In terms of stats, our top goal scorer was central midfielder Tom Walker. He was also the man with the highest average rating, and most assists, and most player of the match awards. Best pass completion went to Liam Bridcut, one of our during the season signings. Jan Songo with the most yellow cards with 16. Come on, Jan. And then red cards, we just had a couple. Neil Byrne makes the list there. At the end of season review was all positive. Fans are jubilant. The board's happy. We lost to Arsenal in the third round of the FA Cup. Average attendance, 76%. Interesting. We used 28 players over the course of the season. In terms of our other information, Tom Walker has set a record for the most player of the match awards. That was 15, new team record, and also the assists. He broke his own record. There has been a bit of cash injected into the club. The chairman, David Haythornthwaite, has today announced an injection of £2.8 million into the club coffers in order to help with the club running costs. That has actually sort of really helped us out. I've obviously got no transfer budget to spend, but there is quite a lot of wage budget. If we were desperate, we could convert some of that, but I'm quite happy to leave that there as it is. I don't think that AFC Filed are a big draw for players who will command transfer fees. So we're currently spending £43,000 per week. Committed spend of 32, which means the wage budget, we've got pretty much another 33 grand to go at. Interesting stuff. In terms of the league results for the other leagues around the game, let's start off in the Vanarama. We'll go down to the National League South, I think is the lowest one. There we are. Stages. League table. So, Havant and Waterlooville have come up from the National League South. They will compete in the National League next season, along with Boreham Wood, who went down when we got promoted for the National League. They have since returned at the first time of asking. Relegated will be Tunbridge, Chesham, East Thurrock and Chippenham. Concord and Welling both survived on goal difference. In fact, Hendon and Dorking only survived by a point, Kinstonian by 2. St Albans, Oxford City and Bath by 3 points. What a race that was in the Vanarama National League South. Well done everybody there. In the north, it is Southport who won the playoffs. They join FC Halifax, who amassed 101 points. Big total there for Halifax, beating out York, unlucky, and Gloucester. Relegated have been Farsley, Leamington, Bradford Park Avenue and Braintree. Into the National League. Helps if I don't click everything first, doesn't it? You know, some people prepare these things, but I've always found that that is just time wasted. Why prepare when I could just embarrass myself in front of everybody? Chesterfield will join the Football League along with Notts County, making their return to the EFL. They won the playoffs in quite a hotly contested battle, considering that 2nd to 7th participate in the playoffs. Dagenham and Redbridge missing out on goal difference. Hartlepool, managed by Dave Challoner, only by 2 points. And then at the bottom, Chorley survived. Well done, Chorley. Eastleigh, Maidenhead, Bromley and Weymouth will have to find homes in the either National League South or North, depending on where they're based. In Sky Bet League 2, AFC FYLDE champions. We, in the end, cantered to the finish line. We finished with 13 points in hand. You'll have saw our win over Cheltenham in the last game. Northampton and Bolton are the other two sides promoted, so Northampton made it up into 2nd. Bolton were my tip from the start of the season. They were always going to be there or thereabouts. The other tip I had was Bradford, and Bradford didn't even make the playoffs. They missed out by 1 point. The playoffs came down to Crawley, Salford, Walsall and Grimsby Town, and it was Salford who got promotion. They will compete with us in Sky Bet League 1 next season, along with Northampton and Bolton. Relegated were Kenny McKenna's Exeter, my former assistant, and Macclesfield, as art imitates life in that regard. Sky Bet League 1, and we have champions Barnsley ahead by 7 points to Blackpool. Blackpool making it back to the Championship. Great to see for another local side. They'll be joined by Gillingham, who were the 6th place team but made it all the way through the playoffs. They actually ended the season 11 points shy of 3rd place Wigan, but still made it. Good news for them. Down at the bottom, the teams that we won't play in Sky Bet League 1 next year: Tranmere, Colchester, Burton and Wycombe Wanderers, who had a shocking run of form at the end of the season. Scunthorpe survived by goal difference. Fleetwood by just a point themselves. So we'll play Fleetwood next season in a local derby. We'll also have some big boys in terms of Ipswich, Portsmouth, Wigan and Charlton. Great to see there. Looking forward to that. We'll also, of course, play the teams relegated from the Sky Bet Championship. And those are going to be Oxford, Luton and former Premiership side Hull City. Middlesbrough just about survived by 2 points. Preston were well clear in 20th. Up at the top, West Brom and Sheffield United are on their way back to the Premiership, the Premier League. They will be joined by Swansea City, who finished 5th, but it was fairly tight around the playoff positions. Derby, Stoke and Norwich missed out. Crystal Palace, who went down from the Premier League last season, they ended up in 8th place. And to the Premier League. As you can see, Manchester City, 99 points, but 100 ain't one of them. Nope, forget that. 99 points for Manchester City. The citizens, they do it, winning the Premier League once again. Liverpool, Manchester United and Chelsea, 2nd, 3rd and 4th, they qualify for the Champions League. Tottenham and Arsenal, it's basically the established top 6. Leicester in 7th. Down at the bottom, West Ham, Brighton and Huddersfield will contest life in the Championship, the most competitive league in world football. Fulham survived by 1 goal. Just look at that goal difference just there. -23 compared to -24 for West Ham. That is, in fact, it's just 1 goal scored that did it. 42 goals for Fulham, 41 for West Ham. They had the same goals conceded. There is one thing that I notice on this screen. I don't know if you've noticed it as well. EC2, the Euro Cup 2, has become a thing in the world of Still We Rise. We have the Champions League, we have the Europa League, and then we have Euro Cup 2. Now, I've never heard of Euro Cup 2. We probably wouldn't, being AFC FYLDE. It hasn't even crossed the bows of my understanding, but it exists in the game. So I'll have a look at that in a second, see what we can find out. I'm not too worried about the Youth Cup or the Under-18 divisions. I'm looking for the FA Cup. How far do I have to go to find it? The FA Trophy. Here we go. Notts County were the winners. So not only were they promoted back to the Football League, but they got a 2-1 win in extra time over Dagenham and Redbridge. In the Leasing.com Trophy, somewhat of a farce, Manchester United under-23s beat Charlton at Wembley. I just want to show you, in fact, can we see the Northern Section semi-final? I think it was. No, it wasn't. Quarter-final. There it is. Salford got beat 8-1 by Manchester City under-23s. What a worthwhile competition to have when under-23 sides just show up and batter the lower league sides. Liverpool took the English Community Shield, so in real life they lost on penalties to Arsenal just recently. However, in Still We Rise, they won on the shootout following a 2-2 draw at Desmond with Manchester City. Carabao Cup winners, well, it came down to the same 2 sides again and another penalty shootout. As Manchester City took the chocolates this time, they took the Carabao Cup at Wembley. The FA Cup was won by Liverpool. This seems to be getting a theme, Liverpool and Manchester City. Who would have thought? They won 2-1 against Tottenham Hotspur at Wembley in the FA Cup. Congratulations go to everybody there. Just going to have a quick look as well while we're here at the Scottish leagues, because I do believe I have them preloaded. And you never know, there might be somebody who is interested in Scottish football out there. From Ladbrokes League 2, East Fife are promoted, Albion Rovers relegated. Into League 1, and the holders are Queen of the South. They took just by a point from Queen's Park, so the 2 regal teams there in League 1, battling it out with Partick Thistle. I know I've said that wrong, I always say that wrong. Partick Thistle ended the season 62 points. What a sickener. Down at the bottom, it's Peterhead who are relegated. Ladbrokes Championship now. and it was Wraith by 6 points. Champions, they are promoted along with Ross County, themselves 4 points clear of Dunfermline. Ayr relegated by some 7 points behind Moreton. And now I haven't looked at the next screen, Ladbrokes Premiership. What are the odds that this is another title win for Celtic? And of course it is, and by quite a margin. Oh, come on, Rangers. Celtic with 92 points. They only lost 2 games all season. Can we see you two? Hearts and Motherwell, not even Rangers. They drew twice. Oh, what a shambles. Celtic take the Scottish Premiership there. Rangers qualify for the Champions League. Hibernian for the Europa League. And then this mysterious Europa League 2 has got Kilmarnock and Aberdeen. Motherwell, the only team in the top 6 to miss out, just by a point. Unfortunate. Livingston and Hamilton, the 2 relegated sides. I believe there were some playoffs and different things. It's Scotland. I don't really understand it. I don't even understand why they do the split. But there you go. Big teams playing big teams. And if nothing else, Scottish football has shown us for the past 20 years that bigger sides directly weakening their rivals is a bedrock of the game. What is this Euro Cup 2? Right, so there's a Euro Cup there. It's a brand new competition. Final to be played in Rotterdam. Not Rome, Rotterdam. They don't have any past winners. Right, okay, brand new competition. I don't even know. Okay, these are the teams who are part of it. AZ, Kilmarnock, yeah, there's Kilmarnock. Ludogorets, Fenerbahce, Young Boys. I mean, this just feels like a sort of pat on the head. Feyenoord are better than this. Leicester, I mean, if Leicester don't walk this, then there's something wrong. I mean, there's a couple of decent sides. Sporting from Portugal. Zenit from Russia. Romania, my old friends at Steaua Bucharest. Whatever happened to that save? Dundalk in there. Good to see Dundalk. Former side of Stockport County manager Jim Gannon. Not a lot of people know that. In terms of the other European competitions, if we can see the winners, that'll be good. Arsenal are due to play Tottenham. When is that happening? That is happening tomorrow. Yeah, alright, okay. We might stay as part of that then. And in the Champions League, Liverpool versus Barcelona at the weekend. Right, I shall remind myself to update you on how that went. The other thing that's been happening at the minute, obviously, is player recruitment. There are a couple of players already set to join us. Sam Leverett is a young lad from Leeds, who I thought looked pretty decent. So we're going to give him an opportunity. No compensation, absolute free, and he's on a very cheap contract as well. If he's good, great. If he's not, we'll just release him back into the wild. The scouts were always quite high on him. I seem to have got him every single scouting meeting for the past few months. Potential to be a Sky Bet League 1 player in the future. So he's going to come in, bolster our under 23s for a season, and we'll see how he is. The other signing is Tommy Elphick. Don't know a lot about him except that he was a free transfer. He was released by Huddersfield, so can't have been doing too badly. He was at Huddersfield in the Sky Bet Championship, went over to the MLS with Cincinnati, and then was back in the Premier League with a team from Yorkshire. A lot of experiences, a lot of good clubs, Brighton, Bournemouth, Villa, Reading. Championship seems to be his level, but he's played in League One before, obviously down on the south coast. Also a couple of appearances with Bognor Regis. Good to see. Now, he's been brought in because of his stats. Basically, he has a bit of yellow on the screen. And I know that seems simple and somewhat churlish. He's a star player in his prime. I'm told that he's a decent player for most League One sides. David Platt was quite complimentary, as you can see, same report. He will be our top defender. And the reason I've brought him in is for the very simple reason that the defenders we've got were National League defenders. Have a look at our defence here. If we look at Alex Whitmore, he is a bit of a shining light for us. Big determination. He is somebody I want to keep around. Bear those stats in mind on the screen. Jan Songo, we signed at the start of the season. Again, more stats. Bit of green on there. Lots of yellow. These are good things. Neil Byrne, however, not brilliant. Aside from his leadership, nothing's over a 13, and that's only bravery. Heading at the 12, marking 11, tackling 11, he seems very one-dimensional compared to the other players that we could sign. We've got to make that step up now. We got away with it in League 2 because we had a good system. The players were very familiar with it. We built when we were strong. We need to build again to bridge the gap to League 1. We can't be playing National League players in League 1 and get away with it. It's just not going to happen. Not when we've just seen Portsmouth, Ipswich, Wigan, these clubs that we're going to have to play. Hull, we're going to have to beat them. And I don't think we're going to do it using the likes of Neil Byrne. Carl Jameson, also on his way out. In real life, he's just recently signed for Oldham Athletic, which is great for him. Just goes to show it's another FYLDE player that's left. FYLDE the club, going down to the Vanarama North in real life. FYLDE players going up to decent league clubs. So it just goes to show you the quality was there. They just did not quite do it. He is wanted at the minute by FYLDE. So he'll be on the way out. His contract is due to end, as is James Cragen's. I'm not entirely convinced. His stats aren't bad, and actually when he plays, he's pretty good. I'm just not convinced that he's the best available to us. We've taken a few lads on trials. Josh Kerr, who is, I've no idea where he's from. He was at Ross County. He's on a free at the moment. He might be somebody we'll bring in. Cole Scoos. He seems like probably a decent player, but he is 35. In midfield, we've had a look at Scott Gallagher, I want to say. Yeah, we've got a few in at the moment. So Danny Ward, ex-Cardiff man, I want to say. Yeah, there you go. Was at Cardiff in the Championship. He's somebody we're looking at potentially filling in that left wing role that we found a bit problematic this season. So he's here. Good player for most League One sides, says Platty. I trust David Platt. So he's somebody that probably will look to sign. Kieran Lee, a central midfielder. Again, 32 years old. Good stats. Important player in his prime. Has been at Sheffield Wednesday for yonks, it seems. 10 years? 8 years. Before that, Oldham. So, you know, lots of appearances in the Championship. Albert Doma, I'm not entirely convinced by, but again, he's a left winger. Can play as that inverted role over there. Previously this season, appearances in the Championship with Nottingham Forest. Prior to that, I mean, those are, you know, Championship level clubs. For the past few years in Forest, Villa and Middlesbrough. Before that, he was at Bristol City. So, somebody maybe. And then we've got Paul Gallagher. I like him. I like Paul. One international cap to his name with Scotland. He's somebody who I have offered a contract to. We couldn't really come to an agreement. His physicals aren't brilliant, but it's his technicals and his mental stats that I'm really looking at, especially those passing stats. 16 passing. And where we're getting rid of Neil Byrne, here we've got somebody with 18 leadership, 15 for technique. You know, this is the type of player that I think we've got to start moving towards. The players that have got the stars, you know, that tells me the potential potential ability and current ability. Into his report, decent player for most Sky Bet League One, professional. I think he's the type of guy that we need to pursue. In terms of forwards, I don't think I've actually taken anybody on trial for the forwards. No. Of course I have. I forgot. FYLDE. He is available on a free transfer, but I just sort of want to sign him, just to say that I have done. I mean, he's never going to get into the team. What do the coaches say? Yeah, I mean, good player from Vanarama national sides. It's where we came from. But as a target man, well, it's saying he's first, but he's actually third, isn't he? I'll say it like it is. I think he's somebody who I just sort of wanted to be able to say that we had on trial. Last season spent with Wickham in League One. That's where we're going, but he didn't really get a game. Played in the leasing.com. Few appearances off the bench. I'd like to sign him just to say that we have. But I think him being here on trial is probably the peak of his involvement with the club. As you can see, a lot of these guys are about to depart. So from Jovan Malcolm down, Jovan's just here. Everybody's going to be leaving at some point soon. Their contracts come to an end. Malcolm goes back to West Brom, Serhat Tazdemir to Peterborough, and then Kozolo, again another National League player. Danny Philliskirk, I think League One is a step too far. Same with Muldoon. Kurt Willoughby hasn't really done much to justify keeping him on. Look, his stats are taking a nosedive even. He was at Maidstone, 15 goals in 34 games in the Vanarama South, but it's the Vanarama South. You know, that's what worries me. Previously with AFC Blackpool, interesting. And then there's Chris Porter. If there's anybody I'm going to re-sign, it's probably him, because he's done all right this year, especially in the reserves, I have to say. In the under-23s, he's been knocking them in. 13 goals in 16 appearances, 14 starts, and he scored 4 goals for us, 2 assists in Sky Bet League 2. As you can see, his average rating, pretty high, 7.1. I'm just not sure that there's not better out there. If there isn't, he'll stay. He's got another month yet until we have to get rid of him. So a contract could be on the cards. In terms of other players who are leaving, let's fill these back in. Dan Bradley, yeah, he's on the way out. Carl Jameson, same. Crowsdale, big problem this season, just won't negotiate a new contract. I wonder if he will now. In fact, I don't want him anymore. We've got Liam Bridcut, I'm happy with that. Dan Lavercombe, backup goalkeeper, he should be leaving as well. And then it's the players that are staying. Aaron Lennon, who we signed mid-season, is still going to be here. Liam Bridcut, again, signed during the season. Everybody else has pretty much been crucial for us. Romario Vieira is a bit of an outlier in that list. He's the one that's perhaps not established himself just yet. Devon Green, I've been disappointed with over the last few weeks. The last few games, he just hasn't hit the heights, and his stats haven't progressed. I expect these stats, especially technical and mental, to be getting up there now. You know, his technical stats should be around a 9 or a 10. They're 6 and 7s. His mental stats should be at 10s now. They're not. They're 6s and 7s. It's his physicals that are keeping him part of the game. But I have been disappointed with him. I have to be honest about that. Only in the league, 2 goals, 2 assists. 20 appearances. And I usually do give him, you know, a good half hour off the bench if he's coming on. In terms of the report, potential to be a good Sky Bet League 2 winger, but his current ability is the Vanarama National. He's staying next season, but I might try to loan him out. I might do that. In terms of the club finances, we did mention before that the chairman has put a bit of cash in, around 2 million. So our overall balance is now 2.23 million. That's going to be important for us for the future. So that is our end of season roundup, the season 2021. You've got to be careful how you say these things, haven't you? That is the end of that season. Next time it'll be the transfer special. We're going to see who we've brought in, how the squad's shaping up, and possibly play a bit of pre-season, maybe. I haven't arranged anything yet for pre-season. Usually over the last 2 years, as you can see, we tend to stay pretty local. Bamber Bridge, Squiresgate, Blackpool, Rochdale we played this season. In fact, Peterborough as well were a really good friendly for us right at the start. Oh, those were halcyon days, weren't they? Those 2 draws we had, Morecambe and Bolton, in the 2 opening games. Don't worry about that anymore, because we are headed to League One. And next time, we'll just have a look at those players that hopefully are going to keep us in the league. I'll see you next time.